Hello. Hello, everyone. All of the virtual listeners out there, thank you for joining us. All of the human factors professionals, I hope you find this useful. Today is Monday, January 21st, 2019. My name is April Barnes, and I will be leading the discussion today on thinking collaboratively. Before we get started, just a few things we want to do. First, please just remove all distractions so that you can give your full attention to the class. Um, to get started, we want to do an audio and video setup check. We want to make sure everyone can hear and see the information that is being provided. First thing you want to do, and also you do need to do this audio and video setup every session. The settings are not remembered. So go ahead and click the purple tab in the lower right corner, which will open the Collaborate panel. You want to click the My Settings icon, which is that purple gear wheel, and then go to OK. So now we want to set up the panels in BB Ultra. And to expand the attendees panel, you click on the lower left corner with the icon with two people and drag it to the left to expand that panel, which will show you all of the attendees. You want to click on the chat icon in the lower left corner, which looks like a little balloon, and that will open up the chat discussion where you can type comments. Again, please remove all distractions. That includes phones, cell phones. Go ahead and turn those off. And you want to shut your door and, if necessary, put out a do not disturb sign for the duration of our session. Next, we're going to do a little quality check. You want to make sure the system is set up correctly. So please click raise hand, and that is that little purple icon. Little purple icon with looks like a person with their hand raised. First, if you see the red record, which would be a small red circle in the camcorder icon in the upper left corner, please raise your hand. Okay. Now click that again, which will lower your hand. Next, if you see the words quality check at the top of this slide in the middle of the screen, then please go ahead and raise your hand. Good. And click again to lower your hand. And lastly, if you can hear me adequately, go ahead and click raise hand. If not, you want to go back to my settings and adjust your mic volume. Good. Okay. And again, click again to lower your hand. So our topic today is thinking collaboratively. And the source of most of this information will be the book Thinking Collaboratively, Learning in a Community of Inquiry, authored by D. Randy Garrison. And for today's lesson, we're just going to start with Chapter 1, an introduction to thinking collaboratively. Our learning objectives for today: by the end of this workshop, participants will be able to define collaborative thinking. Participants will be able to explain 3 benefits of thinking and learning collaboratively. Participants will be able to discuss the role of technology in facilitating collaborative thinking and learning. and participants will be able to analyze the characteristics of a community of inquiry. Before we get started, I would like for you to view a YouTube video. It's just a little over 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 19 seconds. And this is the author of the text, D. Randy Garrison, discussing the community of inquiry. I am going to put the link for this into the text chat. So what I would like for you to do is to pause this recording, go and get the link, and then view the YouTube video of D. Randy Garrison. And then if you could just come back and we'll continue with our discussion. Okay, now that you've heard a little from the author himself, let's do a little bit of self-reflection. So think of a time that you had a positive experience working in a group. And what would you say are 3 factors that made the group successful? What I would like for you to do while you think about this self-reflection, go ahead and pause the recording. Take 2 to 3 minutes to complete the prompt, and that should be included in your missed class summary that should be submitted in Dropbox. So again, go ahead, pause the recording. You'll still be able to see the prompt. Go ahead and write your response, and then that will be included in your missed class summary. Okay, so now let's get started talking about thinking collaboratively. Thinking collaboratively, in a nutshell, is a required component of innovative thinking that improves critical thinking, communication, and problem-solving skills. So when we talk about innovative thinking, I think that most people understand that that's a little higher level than just maybe memorizing something or some of those lower level types of learning that we see like on Bloom's taxonomy. We're talking about thinking, innovative, out of the box, things that takes a little more in depth. And thinking collaboratively is a very important part of that. Just to take a step back a little bit, historically, people are inherently drawn to groups, and most progress based on the collaboration of a group, not just one individual. And a couple of examples of that we see in medicine with the Mayo Clinic, and they were one of the first to actually pioneer the practice of having physicians of different disciplines come together to talk about and try to come up with care plans for one specific patient, whereas normally it would just be, the specific, maybe a general, and then whatever the specialty was involved. But they actually are known for getting physicians of different disciplines together to collaborate. More recently, the success of certain technologies like Facebook and Google, or where there may be a certain name that most of us know as the head of the company, but most of the more innovative products have come as a result of collaboration. So thinking collaboratively, just in general, again, it really encourages and enhances that higher order thinking and learning beyond just basic information getting or memorizing. It encourages critical thinking, which is when you take those deeper dives and make connections to prior knowledge or connections to your own previous experiences, and then use that information to maybe predict future behavior. Also, a major benefit of thinking collaboratively is that it forces you to communicate, whether oral or verbally or written. However you're connected with the people that you're collaborating with, you have to be able to express yourself and express your idea or your thoughts, and in turn be open to hearing other people's thoughts and opinions and other perspectives. So thinking collaboratively really encourages you to engage with the content, whatever the specific topic or problem that's to be solved on a much deeper level. And when you interact with other people, hopefully that brings your level up a little higher. And most importantly, it kind of gets you out of your own little bubble or your small circle that has similar experiences or education that you do. When you think collaboratively and include other people with different perspectives and maybe even conflicting ideas, then you're open to some things that you may not have been even aware of. And, that generally is a positive thing, come to open your mind and have some additional perspective. So, just based off of what we talked about there, we're going to do a quick activity. I would like for you to use the Shapes tool, which is located at the upper left-hand corner. You want to click the rectangle, and I would like for you to read the question. There were 3 answers provided, A, B, or C, and then select what you think is the best answer. For our virtual listeners, go ahead and read the question, select your answer, and then please include that in your missed class summary. Another aspect of thinking collaboratively that's you'll find in Chapter 1 is the connection between thinking collaboratively and technology. Technology has greatly enhanced our ability to connect with others, to find information, but it's also had even greater effect on how we think and learn. So, technology, as you can see, like in this picture, and maybe I'll highlight here, make a little highlight. Here we have some participants to this meeting, participating via web, maybe Skype, or who knows what exactly they're using. You see the camera posted up here, so that they can see who they're talking to. And that's one way that technology has greatly improved our ability to connect. I also see here just a conference phone, but there very well could be someone just on the phone that's also participating in the collaboration. And we see this person here using technology to explain an idea or reference. And of course, when we think of like social media, Facebook or other social media, that has greatly improved our ability to reach people despite time or space or geography. You can talk to people halfway around the world or people across the street and sit there in your pajamas and do it. So technology has definitely made the world smaller in some ways, but also opened up the possibility of you can speak to or connect with or communicate with. It also has made it much easier to find information. You don't have to wait to learn about certain topics in school or read a certain book or something like that. If you have an interest in something, you can go on the internet and find it very quickly. And you can also find other people that are interested in it as well, and hopefully expand your circle and your circle of knowledge. So again, we just spoke a little bit about how technology can enhance thinking collaboratively. And I would like for you to look at the two pictures here and identify which picture is an example of effectively using technology for thinking collaboratively. So which one is a positive depiction of using technology for thinking collaboratively? Please pause the recording and decide which picture you feel is the correct answer, the right or the left, and also include that in your missed class summary. And if you could also justify your response. So write a sentence or two explaining why you think the picture you chose is correct. Another big point of Chapter 1, thinking collaboratively in the community of inquiry. And just to break down that phrase a little bit, community, obviously you think of a group of people, but a community of inquiry. So that's the group of people that are coming together with the purpose of, inquiry. They're curious about something, or they're trying to solve a problem, or, explain something. They're building and supporting a community of inquiry is imperative to achieving the maximum benefits of thinking and learning collaboratively. We've talked about some of those benefits of thinking and learning collaboratively, but you wanted to have a supportive community where people are free to express their opinions and are open to new ideas, and everyone feels comfortable discussing everything, and everyone is on a mutual understanding that they're working towards a goal or a shared interest. So take a moment to read the question. Here, we're going to do another activity. Thinking collaboratively just encourages everyone to think the same. So I want you to think about that and decide if you agree with that or not. And please, again, write a sentence or two justifying why you think that statement is you agree or you do not agree. So please pause the recording, take a moment to write that down or type, and also include that in your missed class summary. So human factors engineering is unique in that just by nature, it is a multidisciplinary collaboration. Human factors engineers work to design systems or jobs or devices or tasks to optimize the performance of the human or to increase efficiency, but at the same time to preserve safety, of course. So even if someone isn't necessarily a human factors engineer, they may incorporate aspects of human factors engineering in their job. If you're involved with quality or industrial engineering, systems engineering, many applications in medicine, the military, aviation, etc. So this picture here does show a wide range of professions depicted, but depending on what application you're using human factors engineering in, you very well may have contact with medical professionals as well as engineers, as well as corporate or business people, as well as you know, people who are doing more manual type labor. So this is a good depiction. One specific example, aviation has really led the way in many areas of human factors engineering. It's an example of a domain that utilizes thinking collaboratively in human factors applications. Of course, when you're talking about an airplane, safety is of the utmost importance. And whether you're helping the people actually fly the plane, design the cockpit, or the people that maintain the plane, because that is a very, very important job, obviously. So aviation was one of the first fields to realize the need to bring in professionals, and as well as the people that actually are doing the work to optimize performance and improve efficiency as well. So I would like for you to take a moment. Again, we have a different writing prompt. Can people with a different education and or job experience as you provide valuable feedback to a human factors project? So please pause the recording. And for this writing prompt, you're going to post it in your pilot discussion thread. And once you post yours, then I would like for you to respond to 2 of your virtual classmates on their discussion threads. So again, can people with different education and or job experience as you provide valuable feedback to a human factors project? So do you value people, the feedback that they give, they have different education or job experience from you? So let's quickly review the main points of today's discussion about Chapter 1 in Thinking Collaboratively. Thinking collaboratively enhances higher order thinking and learning. It is a very natural thing for humans to want to be in groups, and it's one of the best ways for new innovations to occur once people break out of their box and elicit opinions of people not necessarily in their domain. It improves communication skills, enhances critical thinking and problem solving, and most importantly, it causes you to break out of the bias of just only seeking information that confirms what you already think. We also talked about the role of technology in thinking collaboratively. It definitely has helped to bring people together. So despite geography or even language or any other limitations or barriers, through technology, you can communicate with people everywhere. You can also use technology to enhance other type of collaborative approaches. And lastly, a community of inquiry is imperative for thinking collaboratively. You have to have a supportive community of people working towards a goal, or at least are open-minded and willing to facilitate discussion on different areas. So, based off of what was touched on today, after viewing the web conference, please complete quiz 1 in Pilot. You're going to, once you open Pilot, go to Content and select Week 1, and a link to quiz 1 will be listed. You must receive an 80% to receive credit, and you can only take the quiz once. This is APA reference for our text, Thinking Collaboratively, Learning in a Community of Inquiry. That's where most of the information that was in today's discussion can be found. So thank you. That's all for today's session. Please feel free to ask any questions or provide any feedback that you may have about the discussion by email, and I'll be happy to respond.